Hello everyone, welcome to SWAM course on microbial technology. Today topic is post translation modification. I am Soumya Khare from Chhattisgarh Swami Vivekanand Technical University, Durg. Topic discussed in previous lecture was post translational regulation in eukaryotes. Here we understand different cell in their multicellular organism may express very different sets of gene even though they contain the same DNA. We also understand the process of translation and discuss its key factor, where we describe how translation or initiation complex control the translation. And we also explain the different way in which the post translation control of gene expression take place. Today's topic will cover the post translation modification. After completion of this topic, student will understand what are the post translation modification of protein. We learn the different types of post translation modification that are made to the new protein by the process called phosphorylation, ubiquitination, glycosylation and cleavage, as well as the post translation modification example. Now, the purpose of post translation modification and how post transcriptional modification help in maintaining the biological activity within a cell. The content of this topic is introduction, location of post translation modification, type of protein modification, mechanism of post translation modification, in which we understand protein folding, proteolytic cleavage, covalent modification, protein splicing, protein degradation. And we also learn what are the importance of post translation modification, their examples and the significance, summary and references. Now, start with the introduction. Translation is sometimes described the last stage of biology, which also known as term of central dogma. Central dogma of molecular biology stand for the DNA convert into mRNA by the process of translation, mRNA convert into protein by the process of translation, and finally make protein which undergoes for the post translation modification. So, this central dogma state that DNA transform into RNA and subsequently protein. Any modification made to the protein amino acid sequence after synthesis is referred to as a post translation modification. Using covalent or enzymatic method, it may entail alternating the side chain, terminal amino acid or carboxyl group of an amino acids after protein production. Protein modification can occur at any stage in the life cycle of a protein. For example, many proteins are modified shortly after translation is completed to mediate proper protein folding or stability or to direct the nascent protein to distinct cellular compartment. Other modifications occur after folding and localization are completed to activate or inactivate catalytic activity or otherwise influence the biological activity of a protein. Post translation modification occurring at the peptide terminus of the amino acid side chain play an important role in translocating them across the biological membrane. This includes secretory protein in prokaryotes and eukaryotes, and also protein that are intended to be incorporated in various cellular and organelles membrane such as lysosome, chloroplast, mitochondria and plasma membrane. The expression of protein is important in disease condition. Post translation modification play an important part in modifying the end product of expression and contribute towards biological process and disease condition. The amino terminus sequence, also known as N terminus sequence, are removed by proteolytic cleavage when protein cross the membrane. This amino terminus sequence target the protein for transporting them to their actual point of action in the cell. Now, where the post translation modification occur? Here the location of post translation modification take place mostly in endoplasmic reticulum and sometime occasionally occur in Golgi body. In this image you can see that This is the cytoplasm area. Here the nucleus is present, and the nucleus finally make DNA by the process of mRNA by the process of transcription. Then this mRNA transported to the cytoplasm, then cytoplasm protein can bind to the ribosome and make a polypeptide. This polypeptide finally goes into various way. First is folding, make a tertiary structure, through proteolytic cleavage make a piece of polypeptide, then intrin splicings position as remove the intrin area, and the chemical modification or covalent modification make a new chemical group. Now, the types of post translation modification. They are the various types of post translation modification such as phosphorylation, lipidation, ubiquitation, disulfide bond, acetylation and glycosylation. Phosphorylation is the process by which adding a phosphate group to a specific amino acids such as serine, threonine and tyrosine. Lipidation attach a lipid group or fatty acid to the protein side chain. Ubiquitation add ubiquitin protein to a specific amino acid, that is lysine residue, to a target protein, marking it for destruction. Disulfide bond covalently linked to the sulfur atom of two different cysteine residue. Acetylation add acetyl group to the N terminus of a protein to increase stability, and glycosylation attach a sugar group to the N terminus or O linked atom in an amino acid side chain. Now, the mechanism of post translation modification. There is a various way by which the post translation modifications happened. First, protein folding, second proteolytic cleavage, third covalent modification also known as chemical modification, fourth protein splicing by the intrin or extrin protein, and protein degradation is the last. Start with the first is the protein folding. For making linear polypeptide chain of amino acid, primary protein functional certain folding modification take place in it, which are called post translation modification. This post protein folding is first given by the Christine Effersen principle. The classic principle of protein folding is that all information required for the protein to adapt the correct 3-dimensional conformation is provided by its amino acid sequence. The proper folding of protein within a cell is mediated by the activity of other protein. Protein is only functional when it is folded state. After translation formed, protein is linear, so that it does not have any function. For its folding, certain enzymes and protein are required. So, various modifications occur in this nested polypeptide chain. Protein must fold to assume their functional state. Folding can be spontaneous or facilitated by protein known as chaperone. Chaperone are the heat shock protein discovered in response to the heat shock. This heat shock protein represent as capital H, small s and small p, HSP. They facilitate and favor the interaction on the polypeptide surface to finally give a specific conformation of a protein. Chaperone can reversibly bind to the hydrophobic region of unfolded protein or folding intermediates. They can stabilize intermediate and prevent formation of incorrect intermediate, and also prevent undesirable interaction with other protein. All this activity of chaperone help in the protein to attain compact and biologically active conformation. There are the two types of chaperone, HSP70 and chaperone system. First, we understand what is HSP70 system. It mainly consists of HSP70. 70 means it is a kilodalton molecular weight of heat shock protein, and HSP70, HSP80 are the two types of side chain. Their HSP40 is the 40 kilodalton HSP. This protein can bind individually to the substrate substrate is the protein and help in the correct formation of protein folding. Protein folding is very necessary to make the protein in a mature state. Next type of chaperone is the chaperoning system. It is this is a large oligomeric assembly which form a structure into which the folded protein are inserted. The chaperoning system mainly has HSP 60 and HSP 10. 60 is the kilodalton HSP and 10 is the kilodalton HSP. Chaperonin are required at a later part of the protein folding process and often associated and work in association with the HSP 70 system. This is the image action of chaperone during translation. Here the mRNA bind to the ribosome. The ribosome is the start synthesis of the polypeptide chain. This brown section is the HSP protein or is the chaperone protein. It bind to the nascent polypeptide protein chain, then finally make the protein to be folded, and the folded protein is act as the mature protein or functional protein. Next is the proteolytic cleavage. Proteolytic cleavage is the most common type of post translation modification. Proteolytic removal of their leading methionine or formal methionine residue shortly after its emerged from the ribosome. Inactive protein that are activated by the removal of polypeptide called proprotein, where the excess polypeptides are termed as propeptide. Conversion of trypsinogen and chymotrypsinogens to their active form by cryptic cleavage. The formation of active insulin from their 84 residue proinsulin by the excision of their 33 residue side chain. Actually, the insulin is the content of 51 amino acid sequence make up mature protein. So, it degraded into their component part. Signal peptide are removed by a nascent protein by a signal peptidase. Protein bearing a signal peptide are known as pre-protein, or if they also contain propeptide as pre-proprotein. Once the signal peptide has passed through the membrane, it is specifically cleaved from the nascent polypeptide by a membrane bonded signal peptidase. In this case, both insulin and collagen are secreted protein and therefore synthesized with leading to signal peptide in the form of pre-proinsulin or pre-procollagen. There are the several sequential way by which the proteolytic cleavage occurred. The first, deletion of their initiating methionine residue. Second, removal of their signal peptidase, and third, excision of their propeptide. In this image we can see that proinsulin convert to proinsulin and then finally convert into the mature insulin. See, in this image the amino acid sequence or proteolytic cleavage occur at the N terminus and then finally the proteolysis occur at the C terminus, which make a 51 amino acids complete A chain B chain sequence of mature insulin. Then some protein are synthesized as segment of polyprotein polypeptide that contain the sequence of 2 or more protein. For example, protein synthesized in many viruses. Specific proteases post transcriptionally cleave polyprotein to their component and presumably through the recognition of the cleavage at site specific. Next mechanism is of post translation modification is covalent modification. Protein are subjected to specific chemically derivation both of the functional group of their side chain and their terminal amino acid and carboxylic group. Such modification may alter the activity, lifespan or cellular location of protein. Over 150 different types of side chain modification involve all side chain, but those of specific amino acids such as aniline, glycine, leucine, isoleucine, methionine, valine are known. Acetylation, glycosylation, hydroxylation, methylation, nucleotidation, phosphorylation and ADP ribosylation. These are the mechanisms of covalent modification. Covalent modification regulate the activity of enzyme and many other protein. Most modifications are reversible, such as phosphorylation, methylation, acetylation and ubiquitination. Some modifications are not reversible, such as by adding a lipid or sugar group. Modification occur co-transcriptionally, require a particular amino acid sequence content of recognition, and post-translationally require accessibility of the target residue on the surface of protein. These are the listing of various types of modification on the specific amino acids that are to be modified. Acetylations modified the amino acid known as lysine. Methylation modified amino acids lysine. Phosphorylation modified the amino acids such as serine, threonine, tyrosine, aspartic acid, histidine and lysine. Hydroxylation occur proline and lysine. Carboxylation occur at the carboxyl group or C terminal group of glutamic acid. O-link glycylation occur at the serine and threonine only. N-link glycylation occur as asparagine, and acylation occur as a serine, threonine and cysteine. Now, we understand in detail that N-acetylation, this process involves the transfer of acetyl group to nitrogen of lysine. Here the lysine symbol is K. It has both reversible and irreversible mechanism. Acetylation help in protein stability, protection of the N terminus and the regulation of protein DNA interaction in the case of histone. Here the lysine is an amino acid. When it is acylated at the N terminal is known as acetyl lysine. Methylation is the process of protein typically take place in arginine or lysine amino acid and in protein sequence by an adenylyl methionine by adding the methyl donor to the arginine or lysine residues. Methylation of histone, a type of DNA binding protein, can regulate the DNA transcription. Here the again lysine in having the N terminus site where it is acylated or methyl group is adding to there. So, it make a methyl lysine also known as SDM, that is S-adenylyl methionine. Protein methylation can be regulatory role or maybe play important role in many essential cellular process including gene transcription and signal transduction. In protein methylation, enzyme also known as methyltransferase or add a methyl group commonly denoted as SAM or specific amino acids to a protein molecule such as lysine and arginine residue. Protein methylation can have effect on protein stability, protein subcircular localization, promoter binding affinity, protein-protein interaction and other protein modification event. Phosphorylation, the hydroxyl group containing amino acids of protein mainly serine, threonine and tyrosine are subjected to phosphorylation. The phosphorylation may either increase or decrease the activity of protein. A group of enzyme called protein kinase catalyzes the phosphorylation while protein phosphatase are responsible for dephosphorylation. Many enzymes that undergo phosphorylation or dephosphorylation, the example is glycogen synthetase. It plays an important role in regulating many important cellular processes such as cell cycle, growth, apoptosis. The apoptosis also known as programmed cell death and signal transduction pathway. Here inactive protein get phosphorylated in the presence of ATP or the presence of enzyme kinase. It make a active protein and also known as phosphorylated protein. Hydroxylation, the biological process of addition of hydroxyl group to a protein amino acids called hydroxylation. Protein hydroxylation is one type of post-translation modification that involve the conversion of CH group into COH group, and that this hydroxylated amino acids are involved in regulation of some important factor called transcription factor. Among 22 amino acids can be regulated, these are proline and lysine. The proline get hydroxylase get converted into hydroxyproline and lysine when act with the enzyme hydroxylase converted to hydroxylysine. Next is carboxylation. Vitamin K dependent carboxylation of glutamic acid residue in certain clotting factor is called post translation modification. Here the carboxylation of that occur in a glutamic acid, and it helpful in the blood clotting factor. Glycosylation. Glycosylation involved the enzymatic addition of saccharide molecule to amino acid side chain. There are two types, N-linked glycosylation and O-linked glycosylation. N-linked glycosylation which links sugar residue to the amide group of asparagine specifically, and O-linked glycosylation which link the sugar moiety to the hydroxyl group of serine or threonine only. The suitable glycosyl transferase enzyme catalyze this reaction. Sugar region that are attached to most commonly include here is the galactose, mannose, glucose, N-acetylglucosamine and N-galactosamine as well as furanose. Glycosylation is a common type of post translation modification, and highly complex sugar or glycan are attached to the numerous type of protein. Modification of this form generally occur after translation in the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus through a highly organized activity of various enzymes. There are the two types of N-linked glycosylation and O-linked glycosylation bonded to the asparagine residue including the chemical group. N-linked glycosylation occur specifically to the amide nitrogen atom of specific amino acid asparagine, which is recognized a part of glycosylation site as a NX or ST. Here X is the any amino acid except proline. Now, the O-linked glycosylation bound to the serine residue including the chemical bond, or O-linked glycosylation is the attachment of glycan on the hydroxyl group oxygen atom on their either serine or threonine sides. Now, we here is the summary of post translational modification. The protein phosphorylation mechanism is the addition of phosphate group to an amino acid side chain. Protein glycosylation is the covalent addition of carbohydrate moiety to an amino acids forming a glycoprotein. Protein ubiquitation, adding of ubiquitin protein to a protein via 3-step process. Protein methylation, adding a methyl group, often the lysine or arginine residues, and protein acetylation, adding of acetyl group to the N terminus of a protein or the lysine residue. Now, we understand the fourth mechanism is the protein splicing. The primary translation product of a gene contain one or more short amino acid sequence called intrine that excise themselves from the nascent polypeptide. The sequence that are represented in the mature polypeptide are termed as extrine. Intrine occur in both eukaryotic and prokaryotic polypeptide, and intrine has the ability to catalyze its own removal of primary translation product. The autocatalysis process of protein splicing involve bond transfer, reaction, and no input energy is required. It's happened in a 4 step: NO shift, transesterification, SN cyclation, and ON shift. Now, we understand NO shift. A typical intrine begin with serine or residue or cysteine and as an end of asparagine. The first residue is the extrine in serine, threonine or cytosine. This residue often function as a nucleophile. NO shift is transition of a peptide bond between the amino acid of intrine or N-extrine in an ester or thioester bond. The transition depend on the nucleophile attack of the bond by the side chain of the serine or cysteine residue at the terminal end of intrine at the hydroxyl group or thio group. This reaction is termed as NO shift, where the attacking atom has an oxygen and NS when atom is sulfur. Now, the transesterification, in this step the side chain of the first residue of C extrine attack the ester or thio group bond at the amino end of the intrine. Here attack is polar side chain of both serine and threonine amino acid or cysteine residue at the thio group. This leads to the transesterification and formation of thioester or ester bond between N extrine or C extrine. SN cyclation occur leads to the cleavage of peptide bond between the interin and C-asterin. This reaction remove interin from the ligated extrin, which are linked together via thioester bond, and ON shift is the step of protein splicing spontaneous. The reverse of NO shift or NS shift take place and peptide bond formation occur between N and C terminus. Some interins show sequence specific endonuclease activity also. Such interin cut DNA in the interin minus gene at a specific point and allow a copy of DNA sequence coding into interin or integrated region. This event is similar in introns homing and termed as interin homing. This image shows the first step occurred through the highly specific N and SO acyl shift at the N terminal splicing junction, followed by the transesterification reaction that joined the N extrin half to the C extrin half, resulting the formation of branch intermediate. The second step coupled the cyclation of highly conserved asparagine adjacent to the C terminus splicing junction with the peptide bond cleavage. This reaction release the interin and leave the ligated extrin bound via a thioester linkage. In the final step, a spontaneous NS or ON acyl rearrangement convert the ester or thioester bond to a stable peptide bond and complete the splicing reaction. Recently, the alternative class of interin have been described that lack conserve N terminus cysteine residue or serine residue and therefore cannot perform the acyl shift that initiate the splicing reaction in class 1 interin. In this case, however, other conserved residue within the interin and extrin sequence perform its role. Interestingly, the interin have also been recently described to exist the two fragment encoded by the two separate gene. The split interin have been known as self-associated and catalyze the protein splicing activity in trans and following the same mechanism described in cis class interin. Now, the next step is the protein degradation. Protein that are defective, for example, misfold or destined for rapid turnover are often marked for destruction by ubiquitation, the attachment of side chain to a small and highly conserved protein called ubiquitin protein. Protein marked in this way rapidly degraded by a cellular component known as proteasome, which is a macromolecule ATP dependent and proteolytic system located in this cytosol. The disease due to misfolding protein cause failure of protein to be folded properly or improperly generally leads to the rapid degradation. They are the disease called cystic fibrosis, is a common autosomal recessive disease. In some cases of cystic fibrosis caused by the mutation that result in the altered protein known as cystic fibrosis transmembrane conductance regulator. In short, it is known as CFTR. This CFTR fold cannot be folded properly, and beside not being some able to get glycosylated or transported, then CFTR get degraded. Importance of post translation modification. The importance, it's play an important role in generating the heterogeneity in protein, and it help in utilizing identical protein for different cellular function in different cell type. Regulation of a particular protein sequence behavior is the most of the eukaryotic organism. It play an important part in modifying the end product of gene expression, and it contribute towards biological process and disease condition. Translocation of protein cross the biological membrane. Now, the next is the post translation modification example. To reach the degree of protein structure and functional diversity found in eukaryotic cells, post translation control is required. Post translation changes play a crucial role in controlling a range of homeostatic cellular function, such as entry into the cell cycle through protein phosphorylation, immune response through glycosylation of protein, and amino acid recycling through protein ubiquitation. Post translation modification, however, have also been linked to a variety of pathological events, particularly when a chemical modification or stability or time is disrupted. Now, the significance of post-translation modification. We understand the post-translation alternation as aided by the research in the field of proteomic, gene regulation and protein function. The development of novel treatment for conditions like diabetes, cancer, heart disease, neurological disorder has been aided by the post-translation modification research. The different covalent, non-covalent interaction that a polypeptide undergo is known as post-translation modification. Protein targeting via a signal peptide, protein stability, biochemical activity modulation, protein signaling through a protein-protein interaction and cascade amplification are the aid of post-translation modification. To the proteome become exponentially more complicated as a result of post-translation modification comparatively much more so the transcriptosome and genome. Summary: for polypeptide created during translation to be activated and carried out the different zymatic or cellular tasks, they must undergo additional processing or modification. This change to the polypeptide can occur either during the process of synthesis via co-translation modification or after finish via post-translation modification. The many covalent and non-covalent interaction of the polypeptide that aid to be transforming into the polypeptide protein molecule with all the necessary molecular and three-dimensional structure and functional characteristics are known as the post-translation modification, also known as PTM. A proteolytic diversity is the result of post-translation modification which also aid to the protein stability, biochemical activity, modulation, protein targeting, protein signaling via cascade amplification and protein-protein interaction. With predicted number of genes in the human genome is about 20,000 to 25,000 of the estimated protein in the proteasome is approximately 1 million. Post-translation modification highly specific occur at the unique site chain of amino acid. Peptide linkage are frequently mediated by the kinase, phosphatase, transferase, ligase which are characterized according to the capacity of cleavage particular regulatory protein by adding, remover, transfer a protein by lipid, sugar and phosphate group. Now, the topic to be covered in next lecture is based on transformation, where we will understand, describe and explain the Griffith experiment by originating the bacterial transformation, explain how bacterial transformation work, successfully conduct a bacterial transformation and interpreted result from bacterial transformation. The references: Cooper is the molecular approach, David is the biochemistry and Brock biology of microorganism. Thank you.